With YouTube attacking alternative media, please consider supporting the channel via Patreon for just $1 per month. Link below. They say that the road to hell is paved in good intentions. I like to argue that the road to hell is paved in male feminists because they're never good. Their intentions are never pure. Their intentions are always dubious, and they always seem to get called out as being worse than those that they criticize. And that's what brings me to Devin Faraci. Yes, Devin Faraci, the paragon of manliness and virtue. That is until he was accused of sexual assault and then admitted to it and then pretty much lost everything and then kind of came back a little bit, but then the feminists out there struck him down and now he's back with something that no one cares about. This is what happens when your career hits rock bottom. This is what goes on. So I want to highlight this one because I do not like Devin Faraci. Not one damn bit. Whatever happens to him, whatever misfortune befalls this man, I have no problem laughing at because of how absolutely abhorrent and terrible he is. This is the person, this face, this donut sucking, hot dog slurping asshat. This is the type of guy who, if you disagree with him, will completely slander you online, will call, Gamergate, for example, called us all worse than plantation owners, called us all worse than ISIS, and he called us worse than ISIS within hours, by the way, of ISIS actually beheading an American journalist. And this man is an American journalist. He's a scumbag. And he got his just desserts. And now that he's trying to crawl his way back out of that Sarlacc pit, someone's there to knock him back down. Not just me, but others. And that's always good. So it says here that Devin Faraci is launching Buddhist film website following sexual assault allegations. After resigning from Alamo Drafthouse for a second time, the former birth.movies.death editor-in-chief is attempting a comeback. Yes, he's attempting a comeback, but as a Buddhist. It says here, Devin Faraci has announced the launch of a new film website titled Cinema Sangha. I'm probably mispronouncing that, and quite frankly, I don't care. The site is billed as film from an occasionally Buddhist perspective. All right. The former editor-in-chief of Alamo Drafthouse film and TV site birth.movies.death, Faraci first left the company in late 2016 amid sexual assault allegations. 11 months later, it was discovered that Drafthouse co-founder Tim League had quietly rehired Faraci to work from home, after which Faraci was promptly resigned again. Oh yeah, once they discovered that Faraci was actually working in the kind of the admin department, so to speak, or the PR department, kind of really, for Alamo Drafthouse. Oh man, the feminists of Hollywood descended upon the Alamo with just a lot of fire and fury, and he was gone within, I don't know, I want to say a day of the news breaking. Because he's friends with the Alamo co-founder, and he also ran Badass Digest before it became birth.movies.death, and it did pretty well. But he's also extremely aggressive, and there was not one person I saw on Twitter, not one, even his allies, were happy that he was gone. They were like, ding dong, the dick is gone. They were happy. So the blog appears to have been alive since last year, but freelance film writer Fred Topple discovered it Tuesday, tweeting, Devin Faraci has a new website where he reviews films from a Buddhist perspective. On his About page, he talks about hitting bottom, but still does not admit sexually assaulting a woman. And this, okay, here's the thing. As crazy as the Me Too movement is, how much of a witch hunt it is, one of the things that Faraci did wrong what he did before the Me Too movement was he tried to be a good male feminist. He tried his hand at attempting to really just fall on his sword and think that if he just rides the storm, he will in fact get over it. Because what was accused of him was when he was in New York and he was working for, I think it was chud.com, which is a site I think he created. He was at a bar and this one woman was there and they were dancing and he repeatedly put his hands down her pants. And, you know, then was like later on, like, smell my finger to his friends and whatnot. You know, and when she said that, he was like, I don't recall, but I'm really sorry, therefore admitting that he had done it. But at the same time, what we basically learned, and I think what many people already knew, is that Faraci had a bit of a drinking problem. So his actions were there was that kind of move to deflect from what he had done by claiming, you know, that he had a substance abuse problem. No, substance abuse problems never are the root cause of your dickish douchebaggery behavior. It is quite literally an amplifier of the blackness of your soul. So yeah, Faraci, you were always a dick. You were just a worse one when you were hammered, which is why we all love watching the video where you fought Joe Swanberg and he beat the crap out of you. Yeah, it's great. Good stuff. So awesome. But anyway, he then left in shame. Now, many people in the independent film community voiced their opinions on Twitter, including one user by the name of Geek Girl Diva, saying if your site mixes your personal insights with your professional life, then being honest about your personal life is step one. If you're in recovery, then truth means full truth. Devin has consistently taken only a certain percentage of the responsibility, which means he took none. And yeah, I agree with that as well. He, through like that tweet, admitted that he had done something. Through that tweet, he admitted that there had been some impropriety on his part, but never a full responsibility. More like saying, I don't remember doing it, but if I did it, I'm sorry, thinking that would be enough. No. We're in the Me Too movement now. Like, he did it, which at the time, in 2016, late 2016, that was him falling on his sword. Okay, but now we're post-Weinstein. All right, we're post-Weinstein. That means is like if you don't fall on your sword while also simultaneously castrating yourself to the amusement of others that are arguably in this scenario all dressed as the handmaids from The Handmaid's Tale, then you're not doing it right. And so no one's going to let this guy come back. Now, according to the site's About section, Cinema Senga is dedicated to the points where pop culture and spiritual principles meet. Faraci is described as a film critic and pop culture commentator for a decade before he hit bottom in 2016, losing everything he once held as important. He discovered a new way of living, aided by a 12-step recovery and Theravada Buddhism. Well, not to knock Buddhists, because I honestly have a lot of respect for Buddhists, those who are legit in the practice. It's kind of like when you look at when you kind of treat it like blood, right? It's like the type O. It kind of goes with everything, right? Buddhists can celebrate any holiday, any religious holiday or religious ceremony. They're kind of chill, you know. They're like the Netflix and chill type of religion that's out there, and they're usually pretty solidly good people. But Faraci is not. Now, to be 100% fair, all right. If this man has hit rock bottom twice, which apparently he has, and he went through a 12-step recovery program, and he found this type of Buddhism, then more power to him. He's working on himself, and I cannot deride a man for doing that. I can't. I can't. Will he mess up again? Oh, yeah, probably. Will I be there to chronicle it? Oh, yeah, probably. I saw Faraci at Comic-Con 2016. I was like 2 feet from him. And we locked eyes for a second. I don't know if he knew that it was me. I'm pretty sure he did. But I had to turn away. Like, I had to turn away. I was so freaking mad. I turned away and started talking with this other woman who I didn't know just to change my mind. I was so mad at him from the early days of Gamergate. And so mad at him for, like, how he acted. And what he had said and compared us to. I don't really hate people, but I feel like I wanted nothing more than to just punch this dude in his, like, just his smug, douchey, like, hipster face. I wanted to Joe Swanberg him. You know what I mean? I didn't, though. Because let's be realistic, he probably would have beat my ass in the process. And then I wouldn't have gone to Comic-Con. And that's why I was in San Diego. But what happened about a month or so later filled me with glee. Because I didn't have to try to fight him. Life showed up and kicked his teeth in. It was a good day. It was a good day. Now, the site includes links to donate to RAINN, the Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network, at the bottom of the site, as well as to Faraci's Patreon and personal PayPal. There are also links to learn more about 12-step programs and Theravada Buddhism. So you gotta love that. You gotta love that. So it's like, hey everyone, I've gone through all this stuff. I'm going on a journey of personal recovery. Here's my new website. Here's my Patreon, my PayPal. Oh, by the way, if you want to like donate to like rape survivors. Like, you can totally do that, but like, I mean, I'm kind of a survivor of life, so, you know, I'm pretty sure anyone who's going to go there and donate would probably end up doing it through RAINN. But then again, when it comes to these social justice warriors, these types of progressives, they very, very, very much run on the idea of funding their own. There's a reason why for a while, like, Zoe Quinn is making, I want to say like 8-9 grand a month or more on Patreon for literally doing nothing, right? Like, she slept with 5 guys, cheated on her boyfriend, got called out, and was able to turn it around to the tune of 9 grand a month. Quite frankly, I feel like I'm in the wrong business. But that's how these people operate. People like Devin, who supported Zoe, even though he was as bad as her, right? Like, that goes to show you these people are paying out the money, I think, to cover up their own sins, which is one of the reasons why they really like to fund each other. Very interesting. Now, the site has already reached a few readers who welcome Faraci back into the film criticism fold. One user named Eric Martin commented, "Thank you for reviewing Annihilation. It's great to read your writing again." Who knows how long this one will last, right? Who knows how long this particular tale of this chapter in Faraci's life will last? If he is a person who is trying to better his life, like I said, I welcome it. But the thing is, he'll only better it to the point of where people forgive him for past transactions that only impact their political side, their ideological narrative, their side of the coin, or side of the horseshoe, essentially. He'll never sit there and apologize to the people that he compared to being worse than plantation owners, worse than KKK members, worse than ISIS on the day ISIS killed an American journalist by beheading him and then sending that video on the internet to make sure we all saw it. That is the type of person Faraci is. For when he was confronted with that information, confronted with that video, showing an actual journalist who risked his life to tell a story, not bitch about movies on the internet, being killed to further fuel a terroristic agenda, he never once had sympathy. He never once had any kind of remorse for what he said. And that is one of the reasons why Faraci is truly a douchebag, and a person that I have no problem watching fall time and time again. And every time he keeps falling further down, I'm just going to smile and laugh. Because he doesn't deserve anything more than that.